Hi, my name is Nick Key and I've been challenged by my friend Crystal Nicholson to complete the Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, I'll be completely honest, I've heard about this, but I'm not really into the Facebook and social media and stuff like that. So I don't really know what it's all about, but I'm always up for a challenge. So last night I made my ice bucket. It's really more of an ice bowl, I guess, but I guess you could put fruit in it maybe, or you probably wouldn't want to put water in there, I guess, eh? Maybe some grapes or something. It's not really a practical design. I don't really know why anybody would make a bucket of ice, but... Okay, so apparently it's not a bucket made of ice, it's a bucket filled with ice. Yeah, that kind of makes more sense, you know, when you think about it, because this kind of really... I just stayed up all night making my bucket. Okay, so apparently it's not so much an ice bucket challenge as it is a bucket full of ice challenge. So here we go. Oh man, that just hurts. Okay, I think I've got it now. So it's not a ice bucket challenge or bucket full of ice challenge. Apparently it's a bucket full of ice water challenge. So third time's the charm. Okay, time out. Now, as a high school science teacher, I'd feel a little remiss if I didn't talk quickly about ALS. Now, you see me moving my hands around. This is voluntary muscle control. I'm sending signals from my brain through the spinal cord to the muscle cells and muscle tissue in my arms. Now, an individual afflicted with ALS, as the disease progresses, it breaks down these neurons, these nerve cells that control the voluntary muscles. And so eventually what happens is that the individual can no longer control parts of their body, and those parts of the body cease to move. The muscle cells, because they're not being used, atrophy or die, and eventually this gets to the point where the areas like the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles in the ribs can no longer control breathing. And even though the individual can sense, see, taste, touch, smell, they cannot control their muscles. And so what will happen is eventually most of these individuals have respiratory failure and die. And in fact, everybody that is diagnosed with ALS will die of ALS because currently we have no real understanding of the disease. That is, we don't know why it happens to certain individuals, we don't know how to treat the symptoms, and we don't know how to cure the disease. So for the thousands of individuals who are afflicted in North America with ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, there really is now no hope. And that's why we are getting together behind this movement to raise money for this disease, and that's why we are doing things like this. Whew. My challenge is a little bit different. I'm going to challenge each and every one of my students to take a look into ALS and see what it is that we're raising money for. I'm going to challenge them to donate funds if they wish, but more than that, I challenge them to try and make a difference. ALS was severely underfunded until this whole phenomenon came about. I challenge you to make a difference.